This is C3. No. Oh, that's an F. I knew it was close. Wow, that's an F. It's in key. But I'll be goddamn. I'll be goddamn. Well, I'll be goddamn. Satisfied with it. This is a cool lo-fi beat. Let's lo-fi it now. Let's throw some lo-fi effects on it. And yeah, we should be Gucci.
What's up? What's up? Just joining you this end of this weekend, getting ready to start the next week. This this week is it's pretty successful week. It kind of ended in something I usually don't do, and I should do. And that's what I want to talk about. Kind of what I want to talk about today is making your next move your best move. So yesterday, normally I try to get projects done with my house. I try to run some errands on Saturday, but yesterday I did something which was unconventional. So I have my job in IT, and I have the boot camp that I talk about, that I finished. If anybody is looking to get into IT, let me know. Also, there's links in the description of most of my videos, but um I don't know. I mean, sometimes I guess people that are on YouTube, it's two things, a couple things. I guess everybody is making more than middle class, and they're making upper class income. They don't necessarily, and they either they're already in IT, right? That's one theory, or they already making good income, right? Or two, just not really into it. And I get it. That's I'm not gonna necessarily say that's not a if you're not into something, you're just not into it. It's nothing that anybody can necessarily do. If you're not into something, you're just not into it. I mean, some people just are not going to be into IT, or anything else for that matter. They just not going to be into it. I mean, I understand, like, I get it. Some people, they just not going to be into IT, and that is really not much you could do about it. And it is what it is. Um, those people. I mean, I I ain't necessarily gonna say that's not your prerogative. Um, I never had that approach, because my uncle was in IT. My uncle, what I'm saying, he was in IT in like the late 70s. And I just, what I'm saying, I've been around it. You could even say I was groomed into IT, what I'm saying? So it's it's not like what I'm saying, I could have ever said that, because that was like, you are who you kind of, are around. Like, if my uncles probably were dope dealers, right? Let's go there. Like, if my uncles was dope dealers, I probably sold dope. I probably would be a dope dealer, because a lot of times you are who you around. You are like who you are around. You know what I'm saying? So I was pretty much around people that were in my life, that was, like I say, my uncle was in the IT. I was around him. And then my aunt's husband, which is my uncle too, they were he was in IT. He changed from fintech, or not so much fintech, but financial, in the financial world, and then got in a kind of like, he was probably one of the first people that, because the financial world merged into technology. So he merged from the financial world, and got into technology at like the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, that's it's just that's who I was around. I was around like I was around teachers. My family pretty much was teachers, business owners, um, and IT professionals. So that's who I was around. So you know what I'm saying? If you got like a kind of a imposter syndrome with that, I get it because that's who you around. That's who you if you're not around people that's in IT, your friends not in the IT, then most likely you just gonna have an imposter syndrome about it. You know, that's just how that is. There's not too much I can do about that. I can't necessarily, morph inside your skull and rearrange it. How you think is, everything. That's pretty much one of the most powerful things as far as like, you taking a move is action. That's action. So before you act, you think. Even if it's something that you do like within lightning speed, like you'll almost reflex. Like, if you have children, you're gonna learn to have some serious reflexes. Most likely you already have some type of serious reflexes. Your baby about to fall down the stairs, you catch her real quick, or him real quick. uh you catch something that they dropped to avoid a big spill. Those are reflexes. You don't got that much time to think. I mean, like, you really don't have that much time to think. I remember I I was watching my nephew, and I pretty much I lived off of a main highway, actually. And it was like it was in South Holland. It was an old highway where it was like it was a street, but it was also a highway. Like, trucks can go down it. I mean, most vehicles can go down this street. And basically, we lived in front of this highway off this main street. And basically, my nephew was outside, and we were pretty much just letting him frolic. He's three. I think he's like 3 years old at the time. And one thing about toddlers, even when they get older, they when they frolic and run around, they don't have no concept of a car and what a car does and what a moving car does. Almost even you could even say they like cars, and they like, oh well, I'll just run toward the car. I mean, and it happens every single day, where a child loses his life or her life by getting hit by a car. It happens every day. And the thing is that it didn't take nothing but a second for my nephew to try to run out in this main street, this main highway, in front of these cars that was moving at a fast rate of speed. I mean, like, I don't know what the hell. Like, I mean, I lived in the town. I mean, in the city. Actually, it's called a village, uh, South Holland, Illinois, where the police is somewhat aggressive. But for one reason and another, they wasn't really, the police station was not too far from the street I live. It was like South Park. They never really like, they sometimes they would be out there, but they would never really police that street. For some reason, they would not catch people speeding down that street, because there was a lot of people speeding down that street. But for whatever reason, like, yeah, it was always people kind of going way over the 30-mile-per-hour limit on that street. And the thing is that my nephew just ran out in the street, and I didn't have nothing but a split second to run and catch him before he got out in that street. And it's just, whether it's fast or whether it's, something that you about to make a decision, it usually is some type of thought that goes with that decision. That's usually how that works. Is some type of thought that goes with that decision. So, going back to me in this weekend, I chose to do some side work, and I kind of haven't been doing it because I'm like trying to get my house done. I got a cat, man. I ain't want to necessarily keep leaving my cat at home, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and do this job. And it was basically just kind of helping out with a wedding. I mean, it was some like couple getting married. uh it was like a white couple. You get married. They was like they was like I would say they were like upper middle class, maybe middle class, probably more upper middle class. And they were just having a good time and everything. It was really smooth, but I'm the only black dude that was there. It was like another black dude that he was with, like a Latino chick, and that was it. Like, I mean, I couldn't pass it up because the thing was that it was like paying like almost what I make an hour at my job, right? So I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this gig for like it was about close to 8 hours, and it's like almost what I make. If it had to been like $14 an hour or $15 an hour, I wouldn't have done it. I'll be honest with you. It was actually a situation how I was able to do it was like a situation where um they recommended me for the job or whatever. But if it was like some like $15 an hour or something like that, I wouldn't have done it. But if it yeah, so yeah, I was just checking to see if I got value. But yeah, the reason why I did it was, and I was thinking about it because I haven't really, done any side work. Honestly, to be, real honest about it, my side work was my full time or full time job at one time. Like, I mean, believe it or not, those little side jobs was like at one time before I was working full time. That was my actual work. So that would be considered considered self employment. But I'm gonna tell you, I understand why people don't do that type of work. I understand why people don't do DoorDash, and don't want to do certain side jobs. I understand it. I totally understand it. I get it. I totally understand that shit. I swear to God, I understand that shit. You know what I understand about it? It's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, let's go all the way there. Like, it's embarrassing to a certain extent. It just is. It's embarrassing. Like, if you're a teenager, it's probably like, or let's just say 18 to 20, 21. Let's just say 18 to 21. It's not embarrassing. It's actually a come up, right? It's like you stand with your parents still, and you doing all right. And you do DoorDash on the side while you go to college or whatever, you know. And you do DoorDash. That it just so happens you do DoorDash. No big deal. But when you 31 through even let's just say 51. Let's say 31 to 61 years old doing DoorDash. Unfortunately, you have to first you every time you're doing side work, you have to understand that you weren't listening and you fucked up in life. You have to, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, what did I say before? And I'm not the only one that said that. We are the sum of our own actions. Right? We are the sum of our own actions. Right? So people talk about compound interest. And then by the time people start talking about compound interest, people click off. They click off your video. There's a cost for that. There's a cost for not paying attention to your personal finance. Not there's a cost for not saving money. And transparently speaking, I'm still paying that cost. But the thing is, this is one of the reasons why people don't want to do side work or even want to do anything, because it's embarrassing. It's actually even embarrassing to me. Just think about a millionaire heiress or heir. Okay, heiress is female, heir is male. To a certain extent, working a job is it's like it's to them, just working any job is almost like embarrassment to them. Even to be honest, like, this is some weird shit, right? This is some weird shit, right? It's certain people that they don't want their children doing stuff like selling Girl Scout cookies, joining the Girl Scouts and selling cookies. And you'll think, oh, these people that have these thoughts, they are rich. These are rich people. No, 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 absolutely not. Absolutely not. The people that say these things, they just filed bankruptcy. They have they're in debt. They what I'm saying, doing work way worse than you are. And they have these thoughts. I don't want my children working a job. Some people have never worked a job other than to the time they got 18 and 19, because primarily they didn't want their parents did not want them working. They didn't want them working no job. But because I mean, it's kind of like, this is what this is like, right? It's your parents extending their delusion onto you. Because see, here's the thing. This goes down. Okay, what are we talking about? We talking about the Ebony K. Williams bus driver, her delusion of choice that she thinks she has. And even if she, okay, here's the thing. This is what I'll tell you in case you didn't know. A lot of times people beat around the bush when they trying to discuss something, or people spare other people's feelings. People spare other people's feelings so they don't tell it like it is, right? Well, let me tell you like it is. And this is from a man's perspective. Any woman worth its weight in gold is already, we are a man like myself, right? Or any man, before they even come to a woman that looks very, very good, we 9 times out of 10 we already kind of know or assume that they already are either married or have a serious relationship where shit, their boyfriend is probably going to propose next month, next week, whatever the case may be, or they already are married. A lot of times women that I see, a lot of times when if I do approach them, they already married. It's like an energy, it's a vibe, it's how they look and everything like that. They're already married. Any woman is worth its weight in gold is already chose. Men know this, and even other women know this as well. If you're not chose, if you're not married already, it's something going on. We already know that. It's fucking obvious, right? So that's that perspective. And that's that delusion of choice, the delusion of you're this high pick. I myself, I know I'm not no high pick. I know I have a lot of things that's going on as far as things. I'm not young. One, that's obvious. I'm an old dude. Young old dude. That's how I look at myself. A young old dude, right? I'm not delusional in understanding that, I've made, I've lived my life, I've had my fun. I'm not out here trying to choose 20 to 30-year-old women as my number one choice. Now, if those are presented to me, so be it. But the thing is that I'm not delusional to think that I'm gonna I'm just as good as some 25-year-old male that mostly what other women that are around that same age that's who they want. They don't want no old dude. Don't know young, hardly very few young women want some old dude. Some dude that's old enough to be their dad. It's just obvious. Now they might have a taste for a guy that might be, older than them to a certain extent. Maybe I'll give it 5 to 10 years, but that ain't you delusional if you think you a fucking top catch and you got your share. An average male or whatever has his share of young women, that want them. That's just, that it comes a point where men, I think this is my theory. Women have hit the wall, men become Otis. That's my theory. All men, they age out about 60 years old, they turn into Otis. Okay? They turn into Otis. Okay? This is Otis here. Okay. Let me show you Otis. Okay. This is what men hitting the wall, they turn into Otis. That's how that's how men hit the wall. Okay. Now Otis can still get them, shout out to Platinum. Uh, Otis can still get them, But the thing is that this is how I think men pretty much hit the wall probably 20 years, depending on how well you take care of yourself and so on and so forth. Men have a 20-year delay as far as hitting the wall. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that this is this is um this is delusion for anybody to think, okay, yeah, I can still. I mean, this man is this Denzel Washington. This man was what, the sexiest man alive, GQ man alive, like, whenever that was in the 90s or something like that. When I was like coming up in the late 90s, mid 90s, Denzel Washington was the talk of the town. All the MILFs, all the young women at that time, they were talking about Denzel. That was 30 years ago. Okay? Time stops for none of us, But that's just on the relationship side, okay? That's just on the relationship side. And this is my Otis pose. This is my truck that I had about 2 years ago. Okay. I already know, what I'm saying? Hey, Otis is coming. But the thing is that, it's still a lot of life to live, but we all are the sum of our own actions. Okay. We all are the sum of our own actions. So you not thinking, okay, I need to go, take that extra job. Take that extra job. Take that extra position or whatever, do that extra work, It's gonna put you in a situation where, you're delusional. You're financially delusional. A lot of people are financially delusional as well. Because see, here's the thing. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't like serving appetizers. I don't care how much, it was fucking kind of embarrassing to a certain extent. It's like, damn, these people, I probably make more than some of these people at this banquet or this wedding, but I couldn't pass up this like $200 a night. I mean, shit. I got responsibilities. I got, what I'm saying? I'm trying to work my magic. I'm trying to, become a millionaire. I can't make no excuses off of, me not wanting to do certain things, that I don't want to do because I'm trying to make some money and get the outcome that I absolutely want. I can't do that. That's not smart. That's not what I tell people to do. And they definitely ain't something I'm trying to do. But this is where this comes in at. This is where this becomes a situation to where you got to do certain things if you want a certain result. I don't care how people feel about seeing you deliver DoorDash. I don't care. I don't care if people see me delivering DoorDash. I don't give a shit. Because at the end of the day, you got to think about it like this. This is how I think about it. Those same people that you trying to impress, are they going to give you $20? These same people that you trying to impress, when you trying to sell your candles, when you trying to sell your soap or whatever you sell that you do on the side, you put an ad up for, you trying to sell some plates or something like that. These same people don't support you. These same people, when you go on Facebook and you put a post about what you're selling, these people do not support you. Your friends are some of the times your worst supporters, depending on who you think your friend or who you think is not your friend. they don't necessarily support you. They not, they're not necessarily gonna put $20 in your pocket. You trying to be cool and trying to be hip and funny ain't gonna get you rich. But you better off fucking delivering DoorDash for $10 an order or $5 for a quick order that's you know 5 miles away or something like that, or not so much 5 miles, a couple miles away round trip. You better off doing that than fucking trying to please these motherfucking delusional broke motherfuckers. These people are broke. Like, you're trying to, the 9 times out of 10, you're trying to impress another broke person, which in the scheme of things, the reality of things, okay, let me show you the reality of things. These people are actually poor. If you really want to think about it, if you really want to break things down, you're trying to impress another poor person. You absolutely are trying to impress another poor person. And, basically that's what it comes down to. So, would you try to impress another poor person? Yeah, I think people do that. I do think people, that's what people do. They try to impress other poor people. Because why would somebody, like I was talking to Iori the other night. Why would somebody want to go to the club and ball out at the club? In a club where it's in the hood. It's a hood club. So a hood club is the reason why they call it the hood is because it's no neighborhood. People are not neighborly, or not as neighborly. Like, shout out to my neighbor that knocked on my door, I think because he was barbecuing, but really wasn't trying to have no barbecue, But I mean, people are not necessarily neighborly. And then I have another theory, because a lot of times they don't have the money to work on their cars, so you always see a hood up. You go in the ghetto, you see a hood up on the street, somebody working on their car, or they got a neighborhood mechanic that's working on somebody's car in the hood up, or somebody even stopped. You see people stopped off the side of the road, the car smoking, especially in the summertime. Cars start smoking, overheating, get too hot. You see that you see that, and you notice you see those events on the poor side of town. Or is somebody coming? Is somebody is somebody coming from the poor side of the town into a more wealthier side of town, and then they was hoping their car made it, but their car didn't make it. It started blowing up. I'm shit, that man. And that happens so many times, man. Cause the money ain't in the hood. You ain't getting no, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna promise you this, bro. Or, sis, you do get into IT tomorrow. You get some jobs. That job 9 times out of 10 ain't gonna be in no motherfucking hood. It's gonna be in a middle class, upper middle class city where you gonna be working. So you might have to travel anywhere between 10 to 30 miles to a job, you know. And if your car is busted, you gonna be one of those individuals with the fucking hood up, smoking it out, trying to motherfucking get that motherfucker to cool down, you know, or waiting for the tow truck. Okay, that's what that's gonna be. And the thing is it goes back to this, right? I ain't gonna lie to you. It is more of a risk if you don't know about cars. When I say, okay, yeah, car notes is like, you know what I'm saying, it's a trap. It's definitely a trap. I still stand wholeheartedly with that. But if you don't have money to buy, okay, if you don't know about cars, you don't have a mechanic to help you go look for a used car, 9 times out of 10, or let's just say 50% out of 100, you're going to get a car that's going to have some issues. You know, when you're going in the range of $0 to $5,000 to purchase a car, you're going to have more often those types of issues to where, yeah, you're going to be car poor, where you can't, you got a car, but you don't have the money to get it repaired regularly, and you don't have any money to buy a backup car, and you're gonna have issues and problems with the vehicle, and you still need to go places. And tax season is about 10 months away. Those issues happen to people that are poor, more poor than, because I mean, those issues, I can tell you wholeheartedly, those issues don't happen to I mean, I'm not saying they don't happen to people that are more wealthier or they have more wealthier families, but they can go to their aunt, uncle, mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, and they whip out their credit card and go get their car fixed or get them another vehicle. Very relatively easy, almost so easy that even they probably don't even have to go to their parents. They just whip out their own credit card. I've seen it. In the northern suburbs of Illinois, they got money. They got old money. Like I remember going up there and then having certain issues and explaining that to the people where I work, and them looking at me like I'm speaking Chinese. They do not understand. No, I had to go take a bus and my car went out, and then I got a flat and I ain't had no tow truck, and I had to wait to get a tow truck, and then the car got impounded because I didn't have a tow and all this other, these stories and shit. They don't understand all. They're like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, huh? You don't have no credit. Like, they'll ask you questions. See, this is why you might want to, for a year or two, live outside of a certain area, for just a area, just a year or two, just so you can see that this shit is not normal. Like living living around people that just doing scams and licks and don't have a credit in order, don't have no financial plan, that shit, so you can know that shit is absolutely abnormal. Everybody else is doing something totally different. Now it's about where you living and everything like that. So you can absolutely know that this shit is some abnormal shit that a lot of people made normal because that's who they're around, and that's who they're around on a daily basis. When you go outside of that type of logic, you go around people that they have to have their credit in order. It's normal for their credit to be in order, to pay their bills on time, to save money, to have some type of financial plan, to have some life insurance. Then you realize, wow, this is just normal to these people. And then when you start, like I said, let me go back to, you know, explaining in my job back in, when was this, about 2015, about my car problems. And looking at me like, you don't have a credit card? Like, just a simple question, you don't have a credit card, you know? Mind blown. No response whatsoever. Really, like, nope, I don't. Like, seriously, you know. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it these things are not normal. You know, everybody is not, like, you would, even people that live in the hood, they, or live in the ghetto, or live in poverty, or live close to poverty, um they still normalize that, because something about the human mind, right? And this is why delusion creeps in. The human mind will try to normalize just about anything. like like for example, the human mind can normalize uh almost any experience, whether negative or positive or whatever. It'll normalize it. It, like, you'll get desensitized to just about anything. You know, it'll just be like, oh, that just happens. You know, like in Chicago, people get shot. It's like one person gets shot, you like damn near relieved, because it's you know, freaking mass shootings almost every day. Like 4 people got shot. People getting shot at the funeral. It's like 2 people got shot at the funeral. The grandma got shot. The auntie, the little son got shot. It's like you normalize, like, death and destruction, and it's like, damn, you know, it becomes like desensitized, and it's like, no, this is not normal. This is types of shit that don't even probably happen in an active war. You know, they don't even probably do that in a fucking active war. And it's like you normalize it, and then people on the outside, they like, I don't want no parts of this shit. This shit is absolutely not normal. And it would have to take somebody from the outside looking back in to be like, no, I'm glad I left this shit. This is not normal. I don't know how are they able to get away with this type of behavior? How are they able to get away with these types of actions? And then also, I mean, like, where the fuck is Batman? I mean, what the fuck? Like, how do you get away with shooting up a funeral? You know, or why would you? Where is people that would like, that are okay with shooting up a funeral? But that's another conversation for another day. The feds basically decided to, they basically called it cutting off the heads of the snake. So they basically locked up all the major street gangs leaders, because the leaders was the one that called the shots. And then once they locked up all the major leaders of the street gangs, it's basically everybody went rogue. You could do whatever you want to for the most part. You know, they start, even the quote unquote OGs, they start killing them, because it's like, I'm not about to listen to you. I'm not about to listen to your old ass tell me anything what to do. Do what I want to do. You know, so that's why you have what you have. What I A lot of times, this is what I call it, because I absolutely know that by various means, they just sit back and let things happen to certain neighborhoods and certain cities, and they absolutely can control it. They don't do it because, you know, it's just basically kind of like, it's kind of like, you just, you know, you let the Hutus and the Tutsis kill each other because they, you know, they are a certain type of people that you don't really give a fuck about. And I understand it. I get it, you know. I understand it to a certain degree. You just stay out the way and let them kill each other. So it's like I call it controlled chaos theory. It's basically controlled chaos. Because if, let's just say, those particular areas or whatever where they just, let's just say that they stop killing the people that look just like them, and they start killing other people, right? Then it's gonna cause attention. Then it's like, it's kind of like the end of this movie called Child's Play. Not Child's Play, Pet Cemetery. When the little voodoo baby doll came back to life, and they finally killed him. I'm destroying this movie that you may or may not have seen, but basically when they killed when they killed the child said, "No fair, no fair," because it's like, he wanted to just kill everybody. He ain't want you to kill him. So it's kind of like, what I'm saying is like, when people start dying, that like for example, black people start killing white people, then it's like a situation where it'll make a big headline. It'll be a big deal, But as long as it's like a bunch of poor black people killing other poor black people, it's fine. It's okay, it's just fine. It's no problem at all, So the thing is that people get desensitized to just about everything. People get desensitized to actually be poor, actually be broke. It's like, oh yeah, my nana was broke and poor, my daddy was broke and poor. I'm gonna be broke and poor. It's just my calling. And then oh, don't come from a family where people was broke and poor, and then your ass come up, you start reading the Millionaire Savings Plan, and then you start coming up in life, and then they be like, "Oh, look at this nigga. Oh, look at this broad. She thinks she better than me because she got $10,000 in the bank and a goddamn good job, and she trying to learn some skills to be a notary so she can make some more money. And then she working on get her broker's license and selling some insurance. Look at her. That shit go back to the plantation. Because it's like everybody's supposed to be broke. You broke the mold. That shit, that it's almost like a club. That's why a lot of times people don't want to actually they don't want to talk to people don't really like to talk to rich people that are broke. They really don't like talking to them. If you financially free and you pretty much, people know you that are financially free, they don't want you talking about your money and your accomplishments. They just don't. They don't want you doing that. They don't want you talking about your accomplishments. They don't want you talking about how much money you got, because basically they can't do nothing about that. They can't they can't. And then you hear conversation talking about, oh man, it ain't no big deal. It's about the man. It ain't about the money, and all these other points that are mute. It's like, yeah, it is about the money. That's the thing. That's the thing that Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? He basically, that's one of the things about how he kind of created a rift amongst people, because it doesn't. People was like, it don't matter if you a high value man. It don't matter. It don't matter if It don't matter if you're a high value man or not. I'm high value because, I got a high spirit. And the spirit of the Most High said that I'm high value, so therefore I am, my brother. And it's like at the end of the day, you know, goes back to this. Okay. All I got to do, go on realtor.com. Okay. Yeah, this is also Chicago, Hyde Park, Chicago. Share screen. High value this. Go activate your high value and go buy this. I'll wait for you. Oh no, you can't. Then people start giving you the sniggle then. Because you caught them. It just is what it is. It's like what I'm saying, all that talk and everything like that. It's about what can you actually do. A lot of people can't do this. If it's about money, you can't go. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the money to be able to purchase these assets. Talking ain't gonna get you these assets. Talking outside your face ain't gonna get you these assets. Okay. It is about the money. It always was about the money. I mean, I'm not saying that, you should sell your whole livelihood and be a robot and sell your soul and all that. I'm not talking about all that, but you absolutely need money to buy this. Okay. What's going on, my man? Lonzo is Javi talking about, man, it ain't about the money. Take that concept and go fucking go call a realtor and go buy this property and tell them that shit. You won't do that because you're full of shit. It don't add up. Your comments don't add up to you being able to buy this property. Okay, this is just one example of what I'm talking about. We are the sum of our own actions. You talking about it ain't about the money don't sum up to being able to buy this. You either able to buy this or not. Realtors are cutthroat. They don't have time to be talking about you about some bullshit. You got the money or not? Do you have a pre-approval letter from your mortgage company? Yes or no? No? Okay, click. Here, or they might be like, here's my information. Call me when you get your pre-approval letter. Click. Ain't no, the sweet tinkle of my inter dependence with the Lord up above is gonna get me this in one day soon. And yes, I'm high value. Yeah. No, that's not gonna get you this property, ma'am. Do you have the pre-approval letter or not? Do you have the funds in the bank account to show to put an offer in? Yes or no? And that's where things become separated. That's where there becomes a separation. Okay, that's where the separation starts and begins. And I'm gonna tell you, I myself, I don't have the pre-approval letter to get those properties. Okay, I don't have it. I don't have the money either. But I'm not gonna say that some delusional bullshit to try to have me fit in my current state of affairs because I know I'm deficient financially. I'm not gonna play myself like that. I'm not going to, play myself out to try to pretend as if I got it. And I don't have it. But you got people that just they can't explain the fact that they don't have it. It sucks that they don't have it because we all are the sum of our own actions. What do? We graduated high school. We really didn't take grammar school and high school serious. You know how I know we didn't take it serious? This is what I used to tell the kids when I was a computer teacher. It's always a kid that graduated college earlier. Those are the children that made the most, that they were serious about school. And their parents were serious about school. They graduated at 13 years old, 14 years old, graduated high school, 14, 15 years old. They went to college at 15 years old. Those are the most serious children that took, their education serious. Everybody else, might have skipped one grade. You know, they might have had some type of, you know, uh, their age allowed them to basically start school earlier than everybody else. You know, and basically they just went through K through 8 and 8 through 9 through 12 and graduated and went to college, or they went join the military. That's how typically things go. In that time frame from then to now, it just, a lot of people, just statistically, like this wealth gap says, okay, this is the black families on bottom, this is the white up top. Typically this is what we're looking at here. This is the wealth gap as far as black families and white families. What I was particularly looking for was more of the wealth distribution. That is where you get to where what I was saying before, as far as a lot of people are poor. Uh, you know, when you consider the fact that you have the 1% and the 10% and the 20%. I was trying to look for what I was looking at the other day. Yeah, this shit right here. This is what I was looking for. Goes back to this. I mean, when you really think about it, everybody is damn near poor. Even when you middle, this chart becomes mute when you really think about it. It's not even so much a thought behind it. When you break everything down, this becomes mute. Even if you got really, depending on, okay, if you just got 120 and then you got a mortgage on your house and all of that and below, you still kind of like, you looking at these guys here. This is an old chart, but you're looking at the 1% with 10, they're making $10 million a year. You can't even go to a good a cigar shop with these individuals. I put the link in the chat in case anybody wants to talk about this. I got a little time, but I mean, yeah, and you look at this slope here. Everybody is suspect at that point. Let me zoom this in. Everybody is suspect then. When you talking about the 1 percentile, and they have 99%, so you got $80 to $620 as far as wealth, to the medium is like 97,000. And this is like in as far as age groups. I mean, actually, no. This is percentile. Biden just passed that. They just said that the student loans will be, that student loan act will be, as far as the student loan payment, got approved or whatever. I don't know. They voted on it or something like that. So I mean that will help out a lot of people, you know. Obviously, anything will help because obviously if you got, you know, all of these people on the bottom and you don't start curving up to about, you know, 200, 300,000, but you still don't have nowhere near. Look at this as like a roller coaster, like a death roller coaster. Like this shit is like, look, and then this is why people commit suicide when they lose their money. Because look at it. It's a long drop down to the bottom. Look at this drop to the bottom. Woo! That's a that's a hell of a drop right there, boy. That's Six Flags like a mother. I don't even think they got a roller coaster like that in Six Flags, man. That's like a China roller coaster or some shit. This big ass drop. But yeah, man, this is the serious, you know, seriousness of this. This is a big ass fucking, you know, drop, man. But no, nobody wants to talk about money. We are the sum of our own actions. I'm going back to, you know, working at this family. The father of the groom gave everybody a hundo tip. I wasn't even expecting that. I was like, wow, okay, I got a hundo just for coming out, you know, working a wedding party, and I got 200 for working the party. So I was like, man, this is cool. You know, this is not bad because I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, what, you know, it goes back to what else would you know, I would do that damn near every day if I could, to be honest. Like after work, um, you know, because the thing is that we are the sum of our own actions. It's gonna take money for us to get out of this shit. Okay, I mean, it's gonna take money for us to get out of this. It's not no fucking rocket science. It's gonna take some very, very motivational thinking, very motivational actions, some serious actions and momentum to get you out of, you know, this box here. You know, it's going to take that because it is beyond competitive. You're gonna have to talk to, you're gonna have to network with people. You're gonna have to talk to people. You're gonna have to get outside your comfort zone. Um, like I said, let me go back to DoorDash. You go, it's embarrassing, but unfortunately, you you weren't born in a rich family. Even if you did, you know, I mean, shit, that your grandfather or your mom or your dad was rich. You weren't rich. You know, in the case of my family, my grandfather was rich, but then he lost it. Okay. You know, you look down on people to do this. You look down on yourself for actually you needing to actually do this, and you don't want to do it because it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's some embarrassing ass shit. You basically, soon as you get that bag, soon as you get that DoorDash bag, soon as you go on your first order and everything you trying to, your first day at DoorDash, you realize you failed as a man and as a woman. As a woman, obviously, you doing DoorDash is more worse than a man doing it. And this is why. This is why, ladies. You didn't listen. Obviously, you just didn't listen. You didn't listen to that boyfriend that you had in high school, college, or your second job after high school, whatever. You didn't listen some down the road. You did not listen. You didn't follow, you didn't submit. So what's left? Suffrage. Submit or suffer. Now it's time to deliver. You better have, they gonna text you on the app. Please have my drink. Can you ask them for extra barbecue sauce? And I mean, you don't have to oblige, but you know, you want good customer service. Oh my God, this shit is funny, but it ain't funny. It's real. I need extra sauce, please. They texting you. These people are at home. They're starving. Have you left yet? Did you pick the order up yet? And then you got to pick the order up and zoom down the road and deliver it. And then they done text you and all this shit. And then you put the fucking food outside their door. And then, well, black people be so hungry. This is how hungry black people are. Typically, even if they said they're gonna put the if they want you to put the order outside the door, they in the fucking doorway waiting on you to fucking get out your car to bring them the food. Yeah, black people. I mean, it's tripped out, man. It's like even if you put the food, white folks, they ain't coming out. Maybe the ones that on the poor side of the game and they hungry and thirsty too, they gonna come out and meet you at the door. If they got an apartment building, yeah, they might, because they don't want you necessarily coming up to the apartment building. You gonna leave the food typically outside their house, and then shit, they gonna come out real quick and then get the order. And then shit, by the time your back turn, you look around, the food is gone. Like, what the fuck happened? How the fuck did they take that shit that quick? But I mean, yeah, you gotta deal with it because you didn't listen. Why the boyfriend that you didn't choose and you ain't listen to and you ain't submit to and you gave hell to pay the captain, he's already doing well. He makes already more than $100,000 a year. He's got a fiance. And you see him on Facebook and he posts his lifestyle, and your lifestyle is nowhere near nowhere near. I'm laughing, but I'm crying for you. I'm really crying for you. Your lifestyle ain't nowhere near his, and all you had to do was just see. Here's the thing, I talk about all of this stuff as far as this and that, but one of the things about getting money and getting wealth and getting rich and all of this stuff, right? Getting a better lifestyle for yourself, getting a better life for yourself, getting more money, is that you ain't necessarily got to be no sugar daddy or nothing like that. When you have a nice house and you have comforts, whoever you with as a man, the woman has access to that if you have her in your life. You don't have to give her no money. You don't have to give her no stipend or nothing like that. She got the comforts of your lifestyle. That's why women, when you break up with them, they want to start breaking your TVs, messing up your car, messing up your house, because they have no longer access. They're no longer going to have access to those comforts and those luxuries that you have. So I mean, that's all you have. Like, you having your stuff together, they already have access to that. So you don't have to do no sugar. That sugar daddy shit, I'm not into that. But I guess some guys are. But to each his own. But yeah, you have access to my mansion, my sauna, jacuzzi, bathtub, so on and so forth. That's enough. That's actually more than, some guys, they don't even give you access to their house. They want to meet you in an apartment, or maybe they have a condo on the other side of the town, or they want to meet you at a hotel. And then they do want to just give you money because they don't want to give you access to their lifestyle. They just want to have a good time, and then they willing to pay you money for that good time away from their family and their mansion and all of that stuff. So you got guys that do different stuff, different strokes for different folks. But yeah, you didn't listen. You was trying to be the boss chick, and you wanted to be bossy. You was listening to Trina and jamming good and actually You know, you were trying to, be like Trina, and now you a DoorDash podcaster like Trina. Well, Trina's just got a podcast. So I don't think she's doing DoorDash. But yeah, that you failed. You absolutely, it hurts. It hurts your soul. You have failed. You have it is no question. You have failed. And it is embarrassing. You know, it's an embarrassing feeling to actually deal with. And then for the guys, it's the same shit. You have failed. You didn't listen to your parents. Your parents said, what they say, save your money, put your money away, stop playing video games. What are you doing with your life, son? Why don't you get off the couch? Go cut the grass. All this shit come back to you, and you realize, yes, you have failed. But don't feel bad for yourself, okay? You didn't become a scammer, okay? You ain't facing Fed time or on probation for a federal case. You just out here trying to come up. That's all. You just trying to come up. And if you're doing work and you're doing DoorDash, this is what you should do. I'll give you side hustlers like myself some type of play or move that you could do. You should have two separate accounts. You should have one account for your regular job and another account for your side hustles, because these are not just side hustles. This is serious business. You'll eventually get over how awkward it feels being a side hustler. You'll get over it when you start making the money, right? Because you could just laugh at everybody else. When I go inside a fucking Burger King, I make more than a fucking manager. He doesn't know that, But yeah, he doesn't look at me like what he doesn't see me going downtown with my laptop bag. He just sees me with he sees a brokey with a DoorDash bag. That's all he sees at the present time. Okay, and he doesn't know me. So, okay, the thing is that yeah, just laugh with, make up for it with the money that you get in your account. But the thing is that you are self-employed. You are self-employed. You should have, it's a business. Okay, you're on this quadrant right here where it's business and self-employed. And basically the goal should be, well, you're E and S. Okay. The goal should be this right quadrant right here. So you should learn how to take this left side and work this right side. That's basically what I'll be talking about in my book. This is what I learned to do a long time ago, but I have to. I'm in a work in progress myself, but this is what you're gonna have to do if you want to try to get outside your comfort zone. Definitely buy my book and work on these steps here. This is where it becomes tough. After this steps, for most people, average person, this is where this business investment actually makes a difference. After steps 4, basically, you're gonna have to be on this right side to actually make it higher up those steps. Gonna have to learn how to just, depending on your area, if you are on the West Coast, you should be already killing it because the ports are on the West Coast as well as the East Coast. The ports are also on the East Coast, just in case you didn't know, just in case you was hiding under a rock. So one of the values why real estate is so expensive on the West and East Coast as well that I don't really talk about. I typically talk about Hollywood and the entertainment world and all of that. The other reason why the West Coast and the East Coast is so expensive is because you have ports. Okay, you guys actually have ports. The Midwest gets the merchandise traveling across the country, gets it in the middle. That's why it's called the Midwest. But you have ports coming from the sea, from it coming from international trade. That's why those places are expensive. Those that are in business and trade, they make the money. Those that are not are just watching other people make money. Those are the reasons why the rent is so expensive, because you're getting goods right off of the ports. Okay, so typically, if the logistics of like trucking and the trains, they get these containers, and then they go by train, and then the trucks take them to the actual door, or the lift gate of the warehouse, or distribution center, so they can ship directly to your house, or you can go pick up from there, or you can actually have freight delivered to. Um, I believe, yeah, you have to have some type of warehouse or some type of business to where a truck can deliver. But the thing is that this is why those places are expensive. You should be in California. You should be able to get merchandise for relatively cheap because it's right there. China is literally right across the sea. If you live in like California, Washington, um, Oregon, it's literally right across the ocean. Um, the East Coast, you able to get different things. You're able to get stuff from Africa. You're able to get stuff from the Middle East. You're able to get stuff from the Mediterranean. Uh, in Europe, relatively quick because it's literally right there. This is why these is one of the reasons why these places are so expensive as well. So you gotta you go. This is a battle. The battle for getting out of your normal, like what you find is normal. Me, normal is this right side. I'm not. I'm a terrible employee. I'm good, but I don't like being an employee. I'm better. I'm better on this right side than I am on this left side. But to be on this right side does require a certain level of discipline. Like I said, one of the reasons why a lot of people work a job is because the job actually kind of does certain things for them that you have to do for yourself as a business owner. For example, in the business world, you get paid every day. Every time you make a sale, every time you perform a service, you get paid. All throughout the day, you get paid, right? So, like, imagine you have a taxi cab. You pick up people every time they leave the car, they pay you for the fare, for the cab ride. That money goes into your pocket. You getting paid all throughout the day. If you don't have discipline enough to save, to put that money in a bank account every night or every day or whatever, then you just trick off the money, you go broke, and then in the business world, your what you don't do is more dire consequences because you don't have any safety net. The reason why people are employees because they prefer and need safety nets. They're not disciplined enough to save money every day. Go take the money, go put it in the bank account, and then pay yourself a paycheck. Or if you don't, a lot of times people don't have the money to even pay themselves a paycheck. In that case, you have to kind of gotta go back to this. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. You didn't have this 10 years ago. You gotta go back to this. DoorDash is your friend, and it's a public company at this point, and the shares are climbing. As far as I know, I haven't checked it, but Uber Eats, DoorDash. I mean, it's the gig economy is like, this is one of the reasons why a lot of companies are folding up. Why Walmart is closing, why Target, a lot of these fast food restaurants are closing. The kids are not dumb. 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 19. They're not dumb. They're like, okay, so I make $10 an hour working at Hardee's. I make $25 doing DoorDash, just busting my Honda Civic through, through the neighborhood, picking up orders real fast. I can make like 20 some dollars an hour dropping off orders. The fuck I gotta work at Hardee's for? You know? And it's like it's these companies, they're not able to pay um a competitive wage or whatever. So they trying to respond to all of this. This is relatively new. This is new. This is only the last 10 years. So that's, they don't tell you this, but this is one of the reasons why um companies are having a problem retaining employees. This is just one company. This is just one company that people use. I mean, there's so many types of gigs. Like uh it is like you got a list of different gigs that people have. It is way more than just DoorDash. It's like tons of them. They got stuff coming out, like all of these different startups. There's so many startups that they roll out every single month. It's just ridiculous. Every day is a new startup trying to launch. So yeah, it's just we all are the sum of our own actions. Nobody's gonna give you anything unless you take it. You gotta take it by way of you getting what you deserve. And once you do that, you save that momentum. See, the reason why I keep saying save, right? This is the reason why I keep saying save. It goes back to saving. You save that money, you start investing it. You put it into a business and start a business system. You save the money because this is one of the things why saving is important. And other people know this and they laugh at you. They laugh at you because you always broke and they're not. One of the things why people laugh at you and they look at you like you stupid is because they know this word right here. They know this word right here. One of the reasons why, people they come up in life, you like, damn, man, I remember when he ain't had nothing. Now he got a motherfucking Benz, he got a Porsche, he got a Lambo in a garage and a mansion. It's because of this word right here. Momentum. Saving, investing, repeating the same cycle over and over again, it builds up momentum. You start off with $1, you work your way up to $1 million by proxy of repeating the same cycle over and over and over and over again, building up momentum. Every rags to riches story, I got to finish the second part of the rags to riches story. Every rags to rich story is a story of momentum. That's all it is. Started off, I barely could make sales one week. Then the next week, basically I sold 10, products. Then the next month I sold 1,000. It's a story of momentum.
Message.
said to me, my grandfather walked 10 miles to work every day. My father walked 5. I'm driving a Cadillac. My son is in a Mercedes. Said my grandson will be in a Ferrari. But he said my great-grandson will be walking again. So I asked him, I said, well, why is that? And he said to me, tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise warriors.